H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys supports 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus. One-time pay, lifetime access to live classes and videos. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For free demo class, visit H2kInfosys.com.
I am all working with the Selenium WebDriver with Java. So I'm into Selenium WebDriver for Java from last approx more than 14 years of experience. So I'm all well versed. In fact, I worked with one of an organization named as ThoughtWorks, where actually Selenium got implemented. So I'm well aware of the internal Selenium libraries also. So, and as you all know, you all might be knowing the Selenium is one of the most used tool in all of the organizations, and it's an open source tool. And you can say that this is one of the most premium skill that is worldwide used, you know, like in various MNCs, though it might be related to insurance domain, finance domain, different domains, but Selenium is like worldwide used in all of the projects. It might be an Android application, it might be an iOS application, it might be web application, and it might be an API. So everything, all tests can be automated using Selenium WebDriver. So I can say that it's really a huge scope for this. So as we say, like if in your whole life you will be switching the company in every 6 months, so then too you will be having like n number of opportunities in Selenium WebDriver if you really want to make a career. So this is one of the most most asked skill, and it is one of the best skill if you want to really grow in your career. So I'm like, even take my lab example. So I mean I'm into this from last 14 years, not in fact 14, more than 14 years, and I can assure you on this, I mean this is one of the most premium skill. Okay, fine. So if you say what is basically Selenium and for what like it's required, so see, as we all know, you know, like software testing, what is basically software testing, you all might be knowing. So it is basically an integral part of SDLC, and sometimes it involves a lot of repetitive tasks. So combing over scenarios again and again. So now to reduce these repetitive efforts, software testers need the help of some tools which can enable them to automate these repetitive tasks. Okay. One of the greatest suites of automation tools is Selenium. Okay. Which basically provides the capabilities to automate user actions, okay, on a web application. Okay, so it is an open source umbrella for like large number of tools and libraries that enable and support the automation of your web browsers. Okay, now how basically what is Selenium, when it came into existence, what are the various components of Selenium? Okay, see, so Selenium is basically, you can say it is a set of open source web automation tools that basically leverages you the power of web browsers and helps in automating workflows of how users interact with the web application within the browser. Okay, so see, what happens is Selenium is an open source tool, and if you want to automate any web application, for example, so it has that power that by using Selenium, you will be able to launch the browser. I mean, you will be able to launch the browser. Then in that browser, you will be able to launch the web application. And after launching the web application, you can easily navigate into that web application by using different assertions. Okay. So this is what called Selenium. Okay. Now, how Selenium got implemented? So actually, history of Selenium, if you go, so in the back early like 2000s, basically, there was a person named as Jason Huggins who was an engineer in ThoughtWorks. So ThoughtWorks is a company. In fact, I also worked in my previous experience in ThoughtWorks organization. So you know how it got into existence. So basically, it created a JavaScript module. First, they just created a JavaScript module. So Jason Huggins just gave a thought like there was some application and he just wanted to automate it. I mean, just wanted to like automate the test cases. So he just created one framework, and using that actually he just wanted to automate his all the test cases. So he just created a JavaScript module. So its actually name was JavaScript Test Runner for the automation of an internal website. Okay. So the name Selenium it just came from a joke, just made by Huggins, like you can like there was one saying that you can cure poisoning of mercury by just taking selenium supplements. So though it was a joke, but at that time there was one competitor named as Mercury, and they also were in the same Mercury. Also, there was one tool Mercury named as Mercury, so they were also like wanted to come into existence by just automating the web applications. But anyhow, Selenium came into existence because it has like many lot features. So actually first it started with this JSON, JavaScript module only by Jason Huggins. But going further, like it name came into with Selenium. Okay. And right now, currently, we started using Selenium 4. And I think the latest dependency which I use till now is 4.8.3, the latest stable version. So though it might be more than that, but they all are in beta versions right now. So the most stable version is like right now I'm working with, that is 4.8.3. Okay. So, okay. Now, so there are actually various components There are various components of Selenium, like if you say first one, so this is Selenium IDE. Okay. Second component is Selenium RC. Okay. Third component is Selenium WebDriver. Okay. Okay. Fourth component is Selenium Grid. Okay. Now I'm just telling you a brief about what is Selenium IDE, what is Selenium RC component, what is Selenium WebDriver, what is Selenium Grid. Okay. So Selenium IDE is basically, it is an extension available for both Firefox and Chrome. Okay. So this is basically an extension. Selenium IDE is basically, this is basically an extension available for both Firefox and Chrome, which has a record and play functionality available. Okay. So that means, like, let's suppose if you want to record and play, so like it used to happen in QTP, I mean UFT. So it used to happen in that case also, like when you want to automate anything, what we do, like we just record and play. Record means whatever browser is opened in your current instance, and whatever web application you have opened in your web browser, and then whatever actions you will be going to perform, it will be going to record each and everything as a script. And then when you stop the recording, after that, when you will be going to play it, automatically it will navigate all through all the user actions that have been recorded. So that same thing used to happen with Selenium IDE. So Selenium IDE also had the capability of exporting the code in various predefined languages. So it used to give the ability to use like one test case inside another test case and all. But anyhow, Selenium IDE doesn't give you the functionality of cross-browser testing. It doesn't provide you the functionality of node and hubs. Like let's suppose you want to run the script on your hub, like from your hub into different nodes. So it never provided you that functionality, and also Selenium IDE was not so stable. So recent times it's now no more used. I mean, you can use for just the locators, for locating the web elements, for locating, like let's suppose with the web elements, what I mean to say, let's suppose if I launch google.com. Okay. I have a bit problem in my keyboard. I will change my laptop. So that's why this typo errors are coming. Anyways, so let's suppose if I just write this in google.com. Okay. So now, if I talk about this text box, so this text box location is different in this web page. If I talk about this Google search button, so this Google search button, this location is also different in this whole web page. This I am feeling lucky button, so this This is also one of the web element whose location is different in this web page. So in the same way, actually every web element has different locations in a web page. So for that you need some locators. So locator will help you to locate a particular web element. Like let's suppose there is a web element named as text box. So you want to like type in something here, you need to send some keys here. So during your automation, so for that basically Selenium provides you the class named as by class. So with the help of that by class, you have got an option to locate any web element in a web page with the help of different methodologies. Like you can locate by using by.id, by.name, by.xpath. So anyways, you will be going through all through this when we will be continuing with the Selenium. So you will be going to learn all these things. So yeah. So actually that all things you can, for that you can use Selenium IDE just to locate any particular web element in a web page. But anyhow, it's hardly used right now. Now coming on to Selenium RC. Okay. Now if we talk about the Selenium RC. So this was a server that basically used to act as a middleman between the user and the browser. So who is the user? Like you are the user who will be trying to automate any web application and the browser. Like this Chrome browser, Firefox browser, in which you will be launching the application. So it will be this Selenium RC used to work as a middleman between the user and the browser. So Selenium RC used to use JavaScript to work with browsers while allowing the users to write code in the language of their choice. So it was the main version of Selenium for some time. But actually Selenium RC had some issues. So finally it got deprecated. So now it's no more used. Selenium RC is now no more used. I mean, it's now no more into existence because it got deprecated. Okay. So now I mean this is of no use. But then too, you should have like knowledge for that also. I mean, though it got deprecated, so now nobody asks, nobody uses that Selenium RC. Okay. Then there came into existence Selenium WebDriver. Okay. So Selenium WebDriver is the most commonly used component of Selenium. Okay. So Selenium WebDriver basically allows users to write custom code in their language of choice and interact with the browser of their choice. Okay. The language means you can use Java, you can use C#, you can use Ruby. So actually it supports n number of languages. So you can use the language of their own and the browser. So like let's suppose there is a client requirement, you need to test, you need to automate your web application on Chrome browser. So you can use Chrome browser. It might happen there might be a client requirement. No, you need to automate your web application in a Firefox browser. So you actually Selenium WebDriver supports this also. There may be a requirement you have to use Edge. There may be requirement you need to use Safari or like a number of browsers it supports, or Opera or like whatever it is. So you can like automate your web application in different web browsers. Okay. So now Selenium WebDriver. Okay. So actually Selenium 2 was the actual implementation of the merger of the WebDriver and RC. So you can say like RC, after RC, when RC got deprecated, so actually WebDriver came into existence. Okay. So Selenium 2 actually came first, where the actual implementation of the WebDriver came. Then there was an upgrade with Selenium 3. So Selenium 3 became a World Wide Web, okay, consortium with a W3C standard. Okay. Now Selenium 4 basically is the newest member of the Selenium family, and still some of its versions are in beta phase for the end users. Okay. Now the fourth component, if we talk about, that is Selenium Grid. So Selenium Grid is the same which we are talking about, the node, like different nodes and a single hub. So it's the same. Okay. So if you talk about the Selenium Grid, so Selenium Grid basically allows users to run tests on different machines with different browsers and operating systems simultaneously, which gives the ability to run tests in parallel, as such saving a lot of time and resources of testing on several machines. Okay. So team, I hope you are getting whatever intro I'm trying to give. So any questions?
Yes, I have a question. So when you say Selenium, it's always pertaining to a web page, or um, is it could be like an application which is like a cloud-based.
Mhm.
Can you do like Selenium tests for like an application which is in cloud? I mean, it is also a web page, but let's say, for example, I'm a user who log into my store, and then I get to use some kind of like an engine for calculating a
Mhm.
price or something like that. Is it very specific to just commercial websites, or can I do even these kind of QA?
Actually, it supports about like cloud-based applications also. So, I mean, there are different platforms that have been provided. So, coming on to question of Sukanya. Okay. So, yeah. See, I mean, you can automate the cloud-based applications. So for that, see, there are different ways like browser stack, if you might be aware of. So we can use source labs for that. So actually it supports. So like it basically supports. So coming on to your like solution of your answer, like it is like not constrained to only commercial based web applications. So actually it supports your cloud based applications. In fact, if you like you are hosted on different regions using AWS, so you can actually, it supports in that case also. So you can automate your web applications that are on cloud. So yeah, it supports that also. And specifically if you need to go onto cloud and you need to automate that, so simply there are different ways, like there are different memberships available within the browser stack, the source labs, with the help of which you can automate the cloud based hosted applications.
Sure, thank you. So one more question. So you were telling about WebDriver and Selenium Grid. I kind of didn't understand the difference between the two.
Okay. See, actually, grid is for parallel testing. Parallel testing means, like, let's suppose I want, for example, I want my web application to get automated parallelly onto different browsers. For example, I want to get my test automated parallelly onto Chrome and Firefox and Safari. Okay, so actually I can use parallel testing concept, or you can say cross browser testing concept, by using Selenium Grid. And with the help of Selenium WebDriver, if you say, you can actually automate n number of scenarios by using a single browser at a time to automate your application. So this is like the basic properties of WebDriver and Selenium Grid. So Selenium Grid basically came into existence just to do a parallel testing. Okay. Like if you want to run your test also, it also gives you an option. If you want to run your test in different machines simultaneously, you can go with a Selenium Grid. So you can create a single hub, and like let's suppose you have 3 more different machines. So you can basically run your test cases, keeping it as a node into 3 different machines. So what happens is, like let's suppose there are 1,000 test cases, for example. So you can run 250 test cases each in each machine. So it will be going to reduce your time. Parallelly, you can achieve the test results. So for that, you can go with a Selenium Grid. Though see, Selenium Grid is used at a much higher and advanced level. But I will let you know each and everything about a Selenium Grid when we will be going to take up this course further. So there is that will be covered, Selenium Grid, in which I will let you know how to create a hub and how to create different nodes and how you can basically save your time in getting the test results on a quick mode by running it parallelly. And like you can also achieve the parallel testing concept. And if you go with a WebDriver, so it is basically a sort of framework, and it lets you create test scripts and run the test on a browser instance at a time.
Got it. Thank you so much. One more last question. So this is like a module. So some people might install Selenium WebDriver and others might not need a Selenium Grid. Is that how it is?
Yeah, Selenium
Okay.
Grid dependency, yeah, you need to, that jar file, you need to import it differently. But it's just a very like few seconds task, 1 or 2 minute task. It's very easy to configure the jars. So like see right now we started using, like you can use any of the build tool. So in that build tool, you just need to just copy 3 lines of like dependency. So that is actually available in apache.org. So during the runtime, it will automatically download the jars. So yeah, you need different for the Selenium Grid, different dependency, or you can say different jars. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So team, feel free to discuss or ask anything. Thanks, Sukanya, for your questions. So just team, you can feel free. You can ask me anything. We will be going to move ahead with all this. And yeah, from my experience, I can assure you on that. This is one of the best, as you all might be knowing. So this is one of the best skill that is used worldwide. I always use the term worldwide because I myself was a like H1B holder. So I used to get like a number of opportunities, you know. So it might be like currently I'm working with a Japanese client and I work with different European clients, the US clients. So from my experience, I can say like this is one of the best skill, you know. So even the average mediocres and everybody we just basically get a lot of opportunities. So if you just mention one keyword, Selenium WebDriver or Selenium Hours, I mean Selenium Grid, so you just get a number of calls. So yeah, so you can like feel free, you can just feel friendly to ask me anything. I mean, okay, okay,
Yeah, Akash, this is when I have a question.
yeah, I mean,
So, you said that we can automate the web pages, right? Can we automate the functionality of the web pages from end to end?
yeah, we can. I mean, like let's suppose if we talk about one flow of functionality, uh, for example, there is one functionality. Let's suppose if you use Facebook.com, and I need
Okay.
to automate that. So you can just create a test script in which automatically a browser will be opened. Then in that browser's address bar, automatically Facebook.com will be launched. And then automatically you will be able to enter the username and password. Then it will just click on login and it will automatically be get landed to the home page. And like let's suppose you want to share anything in your wall, post anything on your wall, so automatically it will go there and it will post whatever you want to post. So that all you have mentioned in a test script. So either you can handle it via test data or just directly via test script. So it will just put that send keys in that particular box, and then
Okay.
it can just click on share button, and after that it can just click on the logout and come out of your session. So yeah, it is basically developed for the same thing. I mean, it can just automate the end-to-end functionality.
Okay, I understand what you said. Let me put it this way. For example, if I have a insurance application, there
Mhm.
are so many calculations are there. Insurance premium, customer is paying the premium 6 months, 8 months, blah 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 kind of thing. And
Mhm.
how we can do the automation? I mean, functionality automation there. Can we do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we can do that. Actually, for that, see, everything you need to write. Like we will be going with Java.
Okay.
So there are regular expressions, for different calculations, and you can handle that. And also, like, see, there are different logics, you know. You need
So
to
do
implement that logic. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have to be expert in Java or just core Java is enough to handle this functionality?
Core Java is more than enough. So you
Okay,
need not go with advanced Java concepts like Spring Boots, and you need not go for that. Just core Java concept is enough. Like let's suppose in case like in the example like which you used right now, for so that is mostly related to the mathematical values, right?
yeah.
With different calculations. So this there is a concept in core Java if you want to handle such exceptions. So there are like arithmetic exceptions. You can use a try and catch block for the same. So this is all part of core Java only. So you can just avail all these things by using core Java concepts. So in fact, I worked in one of the application, the insurance geographical domain (IGD). So this was like covering like there were used to like property insurance. So I basically automated that particular application. So like each property used to have unique parcel ID. There were different property appraiser websites,
Right.
And yeah, so I basically automated that. So I can again assure you on that. So you can automate easily, So it's a thing, you just need to build some logic, and accordingly you need to like work on your framework. You need to create the scripts. So yeah, so I basically work with different counties in here US. Like for a state, in a state there were different counties, and in that counties like there were different properties. Having each property used to have a unique parcel ID. So actually I worked on that. So yeah, you
Okay.
can achieve this.
Yeah, because I have a doubt, I know that this selecting web elements and browser testing, I am aware of that, but functionality wise, how far we can go with that real functionality, that is my concern. Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah, you
thank you.
can go with this. Thanks, man. Thanks for the
One
question.
more question I have. So sorry to add, to extend a little bit.
No worries, you can. Yeah, please go ahead.
So like live data, like when it gets they said like the price of a property, it gets updated. Like let's say one real estate price is they're selling, so the price get updated. How will that happen? Like for example, for that it is like customization or with standard Selenium features.
See, live data, you can first you need to see, there are two scenarios in this way. For example, if you are fetching from somewhere, like let's suppose, if I take an example, like let's suppose I worked in one of the application that the company name was DTCC. So it was relative to finance domain. So like if we talk about stocks, so daily like stocks, like if I took one stock, so its prices are dynamic. So daily it will be going to increase or decrease. In fact, not daily, like each minute it can variate. So we used to fetch the updated data. I mean, that is called data scrapping. So you can scrap the data from a particular place where it's getting dynamically changed. You can fetch it from there and you can use it in your automated web application. This is the first scenario. Secondly, that is going with the live data, like current live data. You need to synchronize your script, accordingly, because nobody has a control over the price. It may change dynamically up and down. So you need to track that live data. So whenever your script will run, so during runtime, it will just fetch the live data from a particular location, and then it will use it in your application. I mean, your current application. This is one of the first scenario. Now, the second scenario is you can handle the test data, like you can keep your text data in an XML format or in XLSX format in your like, so you can handle that by using Apache UI library. So you can keep your test data in your Excel, and in your Excel file, you can just change the data as per your requirement. And during runtime, it will fetch that changed data. So you can go in that way also. Is it fine, Supenya?
Yes, I kind of understood, but still, hopefully, as we go through the details, maybe I'll try to understand more better, and I'm sure I'll have a lot things to learn.
Yeah. So actually, see, it's all the concept. I mean, it's a very nice question. I mean, in fact, I can say it was a really intelligent question. So if you want to handle, like, see, dynamic data, anyhow, either you need to provide yourself, because see, that is an input for a test script. So either test data you need to change, or you need to get it from somewhere, that dynamic data. Okay. So that is basically a input for your test script. Yeah, and during runtime, how it works in that we'll going to learn when we're going in with more details. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's see many more questions.
And one more last question from me.
Yeah. Yes.
What about reports? Like, say I'm trying to run a report. Like every store, people will run reports. So from their application. So can Selenium help test reports? Then the functionalities that's
Yeah, Selenium helps you with reports.
okay.
Selenium helps you with, by default, when you will be using TestNG, Selenium supports you in that. Selenium supports you. Selenium basically supports you with iReporter interface where you can get an extent report. Also, I will be teaching you that also. Like, let's suppose when your all scripts will be ran, so you can use an email utility. So in email utility, what you will do automatically, whatever recipients you mentioned, it will automatically, after the whole script execution, so all scripts execution, automatically your email will be triggered with an attached test report to all the set recipients of an email. So yeah, you can generate a test report also for that.
All right.
In
Thank
fact,
you.
yeah. Yes, when you was asking something, please go ahead.
Yes, please. So how long is the course duration you are planning?
It will basically be 40 to 45 classes.
Okay.
Yeah. See, Selenium is something, I mean, to be very honest, I mean, it's actually a premium. I mean, it will see, it is like not like QTP. Okay. It is
Yeah.
really something different. So I'm just showing you, I mean, one framework which I have developed. So very basic test is here. So, okay, so you was asking about a report. See, this is extent report which I used. Wait, I'm showing you. See, this is how your report will look like, somewhat. So right now I just mentioned the Google test. So it's showing me at what time I started, how much time it took. It took approximately 6 seconds. Okay, status is pass, it's timestamp, it's details. So in this same way, like you can have a number of tests, So it will be showing you all the report, like 1 test passed, 0 test failed, 1 event passed, with the start date and end date, everything. So yeah, you can use, I mean, this is an extent report which I actually basically generated. So though it's a very basic test right now. So anyways, right now don't think much about it. So don't get confused. It's just a basic, I mean, it's an like different thing right now for you all. So right now don't consider this. So this is a very advanced level thing. So I will be going to teach you all these things. So this is like a bit advanced thing for you now. So this is one of the old framework which I created. And I really now don't remember which dependencies I mentioned here. So I'm just trying to run it just to show you something. I'm not sure if it will work or not. See, it launched the Chrome browser and suddenly launched then again closed. Anyways, see, it shown some failure. What was that? Okay, no worries. We will be going to check on this. So it's we need to check on this. So anyways, just for now, you just try to understand. Like we will going to like go in this way. And like let's suppose if we say why is Selenium popular? So see, Selenium has become one of the most popular tools for automating web applications with a big community behind it supporting. Okay. So like there are big multinational giants like Google, Apple, Amazon, and many other Fortune 500 companies that use Selenium daily and have been provided support to the tool. So the original Selenium contributors are still actively contributing continuously in it, which has enabled Selenium to be up to date with the challenges of modern web applications testing. So like, I mean, that's why it became so popular. And like the Selenium suite of tools are also there, as I discussed right now, with an IDE, WebDriver, Grid. So that are basically available for automating across different browsers, platforms, and different programming languages. And see, Selenium also supports all major operating systems. Like you might be having Mac operating systems, or some might be using Windows, and you can also use Linux, and it also supports for mobile operating systems like iOS, Android. Like you might be having an iPhone or a simple Android phone. So it actually supports all those operating systems also. Okay, so that's why Selenium became so popular. So again, like there are some more specific features for it. It has an open source. It can mimic the user actions. It's an easy implementation. It supports various languages like Java, Python, JavaScript, C Sharp, Ruby, Perl, Haskell, Go, I mean, many others. It supports various browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, IE, Safari, okay, and like different operating systems, Linux, Mac, Windows. Also, it supports multiple frameworks. Like we will be using Maven and TestNG. So, but it also supports like PY test, NUnit, Mocha, Jasmine. And also it is very easy to integrate Selenium with CI tools, that is continuous integration tools like Jenkins, Circle CI, GitLabs. So though I'm aware of Azure Devops also, but basically Jenkins is used in most of the cases. And also it gives you the concept of code reusability, like the scripts once written can be used a number of times. And also there is a community support for it. Okay. So apart from the capabilities as mentioned, so I mean these are like various supports. So also now see one thing Selenium can't do still, that is it cannot automate, desktop applications. Okay, it cannot support the desktop applications. So that is one of the constraint. But though in I was involved with COE team, that is Center of Excellence team. So I just found there is one Vinium tool that is more like in Selenium concepts. We can use for desktop applications also. So, but anyhow, specifically for WebDriver, it doesn't support any desktop application, and I don't think it's so much use also right now. So that don't take it as a constraint for now. Okay. So yeah. So this was all. Anything else, team, you want to ask or discuss? So if you really feel nice, if you really feel comfortable, then we can proceed ahead with this course. So yeah, anything you want to share or discuss?
So I have one question. So for in order to learn Selenium WebDriver, what do I need to know like multiple, like what is the language, like, or the I
Not,
I I, I must
yeah,
need.
just basic Java
Okay.
with data types and variables, operators, if and else conditions, arrays, loops, classes, objects, class constructors, string class. That's it. So that all I will be going to cover. No worries. I mean, I will not be starting with directly with Selenium. No worries for that. So I'm gonna tell you each and everything. I mean, from basic Java concepts. So no worries. See, the thing is, first you should be, I mean, comfortable with the trainer with whom you're going to study. See, it can be me or it can be anybody. That is totally fine. You should be comfortable. You should be able to understand the accent. See, everybody has their own accent. See, if you ask me, so my personal experience is, first you should understand like what trainer is speaking about, what trainer wants to convey. So are you able to understand whatever he or she is saying, or whatever he or she wants to communicate with you? Okay. Secondly, I mean, you should also, I mean, you should have that spirit, to learn. Okay. So no worries for that. Okay.